All right, let's talk about how you might research the jobs that you might want. So, first of all, you want to research a job that you would want now. So, this could be an internship, or it could be an entry level or junior developer job if you are a senior and are graduating. So, what you want to do is look at these jobs and identify the skills you would need to develop or to improve. You also want to research a job that you might want in 5 or 10 years. Now, you probably don't have those skills right now, because if you had those skills, you would want the job now. But you need to identify what those skills are, and then you need to start developing those skills. You also want to come up with a plan to develop or to improve the skills that you've identified. So this might require that you learn a new programming language. You might need to learn a new framework. If you want to be a web developer, you're going to need to learn frameworks. Rails is kind of on the way out, but that's still a pretty viable framework. Express is something people are looking at. There's all the front-end JavaScript stuff, Angular, React, things like that. You got to be able to learn those frameworks. Everybody wants to know about blockchains. I don't know a lot about blockchains, so read about blockchains, or find YouTube videos about whatever topic you're interested in, and learn to figure out good YouTube videos versus bad YouTube videos using whatever means are at your disposal. Maybe try to find a great blogger, or the great bloggers in a topic. So a lot of people are interested in computer security. Brian Krebs' blog, Krebs on Security, is a fantastic blog about computer security. He's a journalist, but he does these incredibly deep dives to the point where he's pretty regularly the target of denial of service attacks by some of the people that he's investigating in the security world. Now, a lot of people might want to run their own software business at some point down the road. If that's the case, you need to learn more about entrepreneurship. Your problems are not going to be primarily technical or computer problems. They're really going to be people and entrepreneurship problems. So start learning about that. So these are some of the things that you might want to learn about, that you might need to learn about. So let's go back a couple slides here. Research a job you want now or a job you might want in 5 to 10 years. Let me just give you a random example. Everybody wants to make video games. I don't know, maybe I want to work at EA Sports. I'm just going to Google EA Sports. There we go. Okay, I don't know, I'll click on their link. There we go. Okay, looks great. I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to click here on careers. Just about every tech company is going to have a link for careers at the bottom of their page, every reasonable company. So here we go. I don't know, where do I want to work? Orlando, British Columbia, Romania, or South Korea. Let's go with Vancouver. I don't know, we vacationed in Vancouver a few years ago. It was awesome. Let's look at the open roles that they have. Okay, so here are the roles. Maybe I want to be a DevOps engineer. That sounds pretty awesome. Let me click on that. What would I need to know? Let me make this bigger because I'm old and can't read as well. Here we go. The Motive and ProCap Studios. We create AAA games, focus on emotionally engaging rich stories, the challenge ahead, blah, blah, blah. These are the requirements and skills. So product experience with public cloud providers. I don't have that. I would need to learn about public cloud providers, AWS, things like that, whatever. Great communication. I don't know. I mean, I am a professor. I guess that means I can communicate about somewhat. Although I don't know what it would be like to communicate with people that have to be nice to me because I have the power to fail them. I don't know if I can communicate with grown-ups. I honestly have no idea. Maybe I'm a terrible communicator. Who knows? I'll put that under something to be worked on. Web operations and best practices. I don't really know a lot about that. I'd have to learn. I might have to reach out to some alums, find out more things, do some reading. Deep understanding of networking technologies. I have a reasonably good understanding of networking technology. Excellent problem-solving skills. I don't know. I kind of suck at problem-solving skills. I probably need to improve that. Troubleshoot complex issues. I mean, if advising is a type of troubleshooting of complex issues and that you have to, like, help students select the right courses and be on the right path in life, I'm good at that. I don't think those are the complex issues they're looking at. Who knows? SQL and NoSQL, I've got that. I don't even know what this means. CI, CD tools, I'd have to look into that. Linux, I've got. Windows, not so much. Scripting languages, I'm good, but I could probably improve those. I don't know. Great sense of humor, I'm screwed. I'll never get hired for this job. I don't know. These are some of the things I might want to think about. There's some terms in here I don't know. I need to maybe look that up. Web operations, best practices at scale, architecture, design. I don't know. These are things I could look into a little bit more, so that gives me some idea. Let's try another example. Maybe I want to work at a smaller place. I really like the game Don't Starve from Klei. Let's look at Klei Entertainment. We'll go to their homepage. Here we go. So it's a smaller company, a little bit more whimsical. Huge fan of Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. I've played this as well. It's pretty good. These other games I don't know, except obviously for Oni. I don't really play Oni, but Helen is super big fan of Oni. Here we go, careers. Let's see what they're looking for. So it's a much smaller company. They're always looking. This is what they're looking for. Character artist and animator, software engineer, technical release manager, and a DevOps engineer. I don't know. What would a release manager do? I actually don't know what release managers do. Great attention to detail, experience working across teams and time zones, fast learner, strong multitasking, intermediate scripting, a big plus, PHP, C#, Lua. I don't really know C#. I probably need to learn that. Lua, I've done a little bit. PHP, I know, but I kind of don't know well what you'll be doing. This is a little bit sparse. I think they're just trying to get people to apply and get the best person. Let's look at their software engineer opening. Maybe that's a little bit more specific. No, it's pretty much just fluent in C++ multiple years. I don't have that, so I would need to really convince them that I know what the heck I'm doing if I were to apply for this. So smaller companies, maybe that's a little bit harder. Everybody wants to work at the Google. Google doesn't really have their sort of stuff here. Let's go to their About and see what they've got down at the bottom. Careers, there we go. Yeah, they've got a ton of stuff. Let's look at their engineering jobs, because I want to be an engineer. Here we go. Look at all this. Wow. So I could, this is a ton of stuff. So I could look, wow. Google Cloud Platform, K-12 education? What in the hell? I don't know. So one other thing I'd like to try, I know everyone's into the Minecraft, or at least was 4 years ago when it was super cool. I know Hypixel is a Minecraft server that has a lot of different online games you can play. Let's go ahead and go there. Now, I don't want to use Hypixel or play Hypixel or use Hypixel to host stuff. I'm just going to scroll all the way down here and look at jobs. Check this out. Hypixel, check it out. They actually have a whole bunch of, 50-plus people working there. Game development, art, programming, production design, so on. This is a full-out company. They're not just throwing out a couple of mini-games here and there. This is a business model. This is an entire business model. They actually have job openings that you can look at, an NPC developer for an unannounced project, so on and so forth. So a lot of this is actually a huge industry. A lot of these companies that do online hosting for games, they actually get into producing their own content, kind of in the same way that Netflix started out with DVDs and then eventually moved to streaming. Now they produce their own content. Netflix was never in the business of just sort of randomly hosting other people's content as a public service or something like that. They always were going to lever up with DVDs to streaming and then lever up with streaming to where they could become their own producer. A lot of these companies, the best run of these companies, that's what they're doing. They're not really in the business of just sort of hosting servers for other people's games. They're in the business of levering up and building their own proprietary and profitable mods and games and services and whatever else. So if this is a thing you're passionate about, I know a lot of students are, take your skills as a modder or your skills as a moderator on Twitch or something like that. Try to find a way to make that into a job as a community manager or whatever you're interested in. These are things that you can totally do. And so that's the idea. What are you looking for now? What do you want in the future? Start building your resume for what you want in the future. And it's not really building your resume. Remember, if you're doing things for your resume, you're living your life backwards. Who put your resume in charge of your life? You build the skills you want to solve the interesting problems you want to work on, and then you just put on your resume that you did those things, right? You don't do things for your resume. You do things because it's interesting and the right thing to do, and then your resume just automatically reflects that. So again, these are some of the different ways that you can learn these skills you identify, and you can figure out what those skills are by looking at careers and jobs and things like that. Awesome.